Man United were a lot better in the second half than they were in the first half. But again, that was a low bar.
It was indeed a low bar, Kieran. In the end, they get the victory, but it's far from what Manchester United fans want to be seeing with regards to quality throughout a game.
Yeah, I think Sheffield United were a better team for me for the most part, especially in the first half. You wouldn't have been able to tell who was Man United in the first half in particular if you didn't know. But yeah, thankfully, this season they're just getting bailed out by moments of individual brilliance, and at this level it only gets you so far. But I think overall with United, there's just a real lack of threat, like especially early on in games. Teams like Sheffield United, the more the game goes on and you're not dangerous, they get more belief, especially away from home. And you could start to feel that today up until, I thought McTominay's goal was brilliant, by the way, and fair play to him. He's stood up, for United this last couple of games. And then obviously Dalot was another absolute beauty. But yeah, I mean, listen, I'm happy they got the result to see off the legend Sir Bobby Robson in the right way, but still a lot more work to be done for United.
Bobby Charlton. Don, overall, we've kind of, as Craig said, we've seen this before from United, haven't we, this season?
They're just bland, aren't they? I mean, they have got a lot of injuries, so you can try and, paint the picture. Well, once you get their best players back, they'll be a better team. But I don't really see too many patterns of play from them. I don't see the structure. I think I agree with Kieran in terms of what you're watching when you watch Man United. When they win a game, it's moments. It's Bruno Fernandes against Burnley, unbelievable goal. They got dominated in that game. Scott McTominay has to come off the bench a couple of weeks ago against Brentford. A couple of moments in that game, otherwise they should have lost that one as well. Today, Dalot sticks one in the top corner when the goalkeeper could have done a little bit better. A moment. So you take that, you take this bland performances into Man City next week. They're going to get absolutely thrashed. So there's a lot of work for Ten Hag to do. He'll take the win, of course he will, in difficult circumstances, and they'll try and build something like they built on the Burnley game, or you thought, until they lost against Palace. So I don't really know where they're going this season. There's a lot of turmoil on and off the pitch. There's a lot of injuries at the football club. You're looking at a team, as I said, with no structure and no real patterns of play. The team that you watch now are really, really low on confidence, and they just seem to be scrambling by every other week.
I'll tell you where they're going, nowhere. I mean, that graphic come up with that team, and Don mentioned there's some injuries, but they're not. It's not Messi, Ronaldo, and Benzema that they're missing, is it?
No, but it is the likes, Varane, Martinez. You're playing. Yeah, I mean, you're playing.
We've had the Lisandro Martinez discussion. I don't think he's as bad as one or two think, but he's hardly Franz Beckenbauer, is he? I mean, it's frankly, the whole takeover thing sums up this side. 25% for this, and we'll do this, and we'll say, all right, we're not going to sell. How can you be Manchester United with this group of players, right? How can you go? Burnley lost again today, by the way. Can't win a game, hardly. They played United off the park. Sheffield United had transfer embargoes, you name it. They've had it, right? They're another club that's been run pretty shambolically. Heckingbottom's done, along with my old teammate there, Stuart McCall, amazing job to get them up, right? But there is no way in the world we have the supposed one of the best coaches in Europe, and Eric Ten Hag, and yet his side is still able to be dominated and watch Sheffield United play the better football for 45 minutes or an hour. I mean, come on. How is that possible? It shouldn't be. There's no way they should be allowed to put United under the pressure, even with the injuries. No excuses. There's no other side. There's no other big team in England. Sheffield United would have done that today. I was listening to, I think it was Matt Holland that was on the World Feed Comms and said their average possession in games was around 38%. Sheffield United. And by the way, that's probably against poorer sides. And yet they were able to look like a side that was top half of the table against Man United. Now, United fans might be watching this, go, they won. Every game they've won, we could sit here and say, well, they'll take that because they've been a bit lucky. And that's where we are with Manchester United at the moment. They are on the road to nowhere. both on and off the field, in terms of selling the club, in terms of, restructuring everything, the recruitment, all the legal issues, the training ground. I mean, I could go on. And I just can't see them. In fact, I could see Man City's season being lit up in flames next week for the pushing ahead with this derby. When you said, why are City not putting teams away?
Yeah.
Here's a side that are ripe to be put away in a week's time. Man United.
Newcastle went there, Craig. Newcastle went there and won 8-0.
That's right, Don. Yeah.
Sheffield United dominated Man United today.
Yeah.
With Bramall Lane.
Yeah.